Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper trending on X published on December 5th, 2025, about 6 days ago. It argues that large language models are an essential pattern library for artificial general intelligence, but that real reasoning only appears when you add a separate coordination layer that decides which patterns matter, how they interact, and when to override the model's default guesses. The paper is titled The Missing Layer of AGI, From Pattern Alchemy to Coordination Physics, and the implications for how we design and evaluate future reasoning systems are quite significant. Figure 1 gives a visual intuition for that coordination idea. The full illustration contrasts two fissures, which represent a model without guidance, and a model with semantic anchoring. The left side shows an unbaited net labeled maximum likelihood, which stands for the model just pulling in the most common, generic patterns. The right side shows a hook labeled semantic anchoring that targets a shark, which represents a rare but goal-relevant answer that only appears when context and goals act as bait. Figure 1 used the fishing metaphor, and Figure 2 now turns that story into a precise curve. The horizontal axis shows anchoring strength, and the vertical axis shows the probability that System 2-style goal-directed control actually engages. At low support, the left zone stays flat, which means responses remain prior-driven and hallucinatory. Around the central threshold, the curve rises sharply, marking a phase transition where anchors start to bite. In the right shaded zone, high support keeps the model locked into anchored, task-focused reasoning. Figure 3 makes that abstract curve very concrete by comparing how easily different animals anchor as concepts. The left panel with dolphins suggests that familiar motion and context let a learner transfer structure, so the representational mismatch term, DR, stays moderate. The right panel with the pangolin illustrates a far stranger category, which likely has higher DR and needs more descriptive anchors or examples before it stabilizes in memory. Alright, the core message is that large language models are powerful pattern oceans, but genuine reasoning needs a separate coordination layer that baits, filters, and stabilizes those patterns into goal-directed behavior. The implication is practical. Progress toward artificial general intelligence hinges on designing and testing that coordination stack. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.